Shalom, Kohalo Yahweh Bashim Abishai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers, doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Excuse me. To the hopefully elect, to the scattered Israelites that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. Many among the heathen that be like unto the speckled bird, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this lesson is going to be about the wedding ring. All right, and the wedding ring is just basically just another scam, another way to make money for Esau. And the wedding rings that's the most popular are diamonds, and diamonds really don't have the value that they're not really as valuable as Esau makes them out to be. As a matter of fact, that's one of the biggest rip-offs in the history of mankind. It's the diamond industry. Diamonds aren't mentioned as precious stones, as values precious stones in the Bible. However, other precious stones such as the ruby, the sapphire, the emerald, onyx stone, things like that actually have more value than the diamond. But since diamonds were plentiful and certain people got cornered the market, they were able to falsely control the narrative, push a false narrative through media, and basically make money hand over fist over these materials found in the earth that really truly aren't that valuable at all. But now that that's out of the way, the video really isn't about the diamond. It's just the fact that that's the most popular of the wedding rings. And the wedding ring, as this man is going to tell you, this Christian, is not biblical. And remember, the scripture says, add not unto. All right, so let's go to real quick. Let's find that in Revelations. Maybe I'll read it right now. Maybe I'll read it. Let's get to it. Revelation, I believe it's 22 and 18. Yes. And it reads, For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. So it's a very dangerous thing that many people take lightly for filthy lucre's sake. To add unto the scriptures and to take away in order to make money. And everybody's in on it, That, as a matter of fact, the way you get married in America, you're actually marrying the state. That's why they have your social security numbers and all that connected to it. It's a contractual agreement with the state that you're in, with the government, and they are able to make money marrying you, and they're also able to make even more money divorcing you. So without any further ado, let's let him get into this video. It's not going to be very long. It's called "Is the Wedding Ring Biblical? Where did it originate from?" And it's a truth radio show. All right, that's the name of this video. Is the wedding ring biblical? Where did it originate from? All right, and this is on the Truth Radio show. All right, which this man clearly is not a man of the Lord. Right? He clearly eats lobster and pork, by his appearance, and even more so, he has no hair on his face. When the Bible orders the men of the Lord and men in general to have a beard. That's why all the ancient drawings, even the false ones of the Edomites that look like this guy, even they had beards on their faces. All right, so to have a bald face is contrary to the law, which is contrary to the Lord, which is really the spirit of the Antichrist. Anything that disagrees with the Bible is the spirit of the Antichrist. That would also be the wedding ring. But, let's go.
Hey folks, Dan Badani from TruthRadioShow.com, and I just want to bring up a question, and I know a lot of people, probably a lot of trolls are going to hit me up with this, but anyway, I just want to express right now, I'm not saying wearing a wedding ring is evil at all. I'm not saying that. I just want to bring up a question that crosses probably almost everybody's mind at one point in their life, some more. Where does it come from? Why is it significant? Why do you need one to get married and all that? And what's the traditions behind it? And a lot of people know it symbolizes eternity of eternal love. That's what it symbolizes in marriages and all that. But where does it really come?
Let's stop right there. How are you gonna love someone forever when you don't live forever? Not on this side. All right, and the only people that are actually going to live forever is the Lord's elect. All right. Because it tells you, quite frankly, Methuselah in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, lived to be the oldest. This is Genesis 5:25. It said Methuselah lived 187 lived 187 years and begot Lamech. All right. And then you get down to Noah. No, Enoch, 360 years. Noah lived. I thought it was Methuselah, but maybe not. But nevertheless, Noah was 590 in 5 years and begot sons and daughters. Man, so you were really mighty. But you gotta remember, these are among the first fruits of the earth, man. And everything has changed now. And then they'll tell you, oh, well, they measured time differently. No, they didn't. Time was measured the same, through the moon cycles as in all the seasons, etc., etc. There's nothing changed. But what did change was here in Genesis 5:3. It says, Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. All right, so that was the most that you got, man. And there have been a few people who are around recently who lived to be almost that old. There's people that's over 100 years old. I know there was an Indian man, an Elamite, going back some years ago, maybe to the early 2000s or late 90s, that was like 115. All right, so there's some people who still live like that to make that 100-year mark. Okay, hell, that happens in my father, in my father's family, man. My father's father and my father's uncle both lived to be 98, 99 years old, man. Hell, I remember when my grandfather was like 86 years old. I went to his bedroom. The dude had condoms on the dresser, man. And then my aunt told me he had a 40-year-old girlfriend. I was like, what? So, Jake is something else, man. But nevertheless, he said love is forever and you don't live forever, man. Not on this side. So once again, the ring is just a prop to make money. Let's let him continue.
Come from? Is it really biblical? Because a lot of people question that as well. And no, it's not biblical. And nothing in Holy Scriptures say you have to have a wedding ring. And nowhere in the Bible or Judeo-Christian history or the Hebrew history or even the Middle East, most of the religions there, all right,
and what he spoke was the absolute truth right there. All right, even though there's no such thing as the Middle East. The Middle East is a direction. All right? It's a direction. You got to understand where that name came from since he said it. But the British, what was it called? The British India Trading Company, or whatever it was called, that had a lot to do with the slave trade. Israel, Jerusalem, and that whole area was midway between Britain and India. And that's where the middle and you were going eastward, and that was the midway mark. That's how it got its name. You will not find the word Mideast in the Bible. It's not biblical. Okay? Just so you know. And he said it's not in the Bible for giving a ring for marriage. And he's absolutely right. As a matter of fact, Ramses, or the Pharaoh, not Ramses, but the Pharaoh gave his ring to Joseph. This is Genesis 41 and 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain upon his neck. So it was more of an elevation. The ring was a symbol of that, which I think this guy's gonna say something about that. Not about what I just read, but he's gonna mention that point.
That, not pure pagans, they don't use wedding rings, and we didn't use wedding rings here in early America. I think that you came out, I see the 16th, 17th, or maybe the 18th century here in America. That's when they started trickling into the society here in America. Where it came from is way back in the days of Egypt, probably a little sooner than that. I mean, people used to wear rings to symbolize wealth, power, to symbolize
there it is,
unity between a man and a woman.
Wealth and power. All right. Joseph was given wealth and power and status by the Pharaoh, because he placed his own ring upon Joseph's hand and then had a gold chain put about his neck. All right. And that became a tradition with Jake, because Jake was always wearing gold and silver when they left, after they left Egypt, after they left captivity. They left with plenty of gold and silver.
Woman and all that, depending on the ring. So yes, a ring was very symbolic in many different ways, and symbology is very important in the occult, in the higher levels of paganism as well.
That's true.
And in the lower levels, they believe they symbolize love and everything else, but higher levels a little bit more, because you get into the Ouroboros. A lot of people got to study that. You want to know about Ouroboros and everything else, the serpent or the dragon biting its own tail, but it's all connected together, and it goes with that karma mantra. Oh yeah, by the way, if you really want to know what karma is, okay, and especially Christians who say karma is a bitch or whatever, you hear the slogans people use. You should really know what the hell you're talking about before you use it. Karma is not really what you think. What goes around comes around. No, it's a lot more involved. And if you want to learn about that, I've got a video right here on my YouTube channel. It says Karma versus Jesus Christ, right on my YouTube channel here. So go watch that. But anyway, back to the wedding rings. There's many meanings behind a symbol, and anybody in the occult knows that. Okay, people who study symbology knows there's many meanings for one symbol. But anyway, on the wedding aspect part, yeah, people use that, and even the Catholic Church at one point said it was the ways of the heathens. The Christians said that, the Judeo-Christians, Hebrews, and everything else, it was the ways of the heathens. It was
and see, there you go. He mentioned something that I've talked about many a times over. Judeo-Christian. Christianity is not just Christianity, it's Judeo-Christianity, because you have to understand the way they set up this plantation Christianity. They set it up that the Jewish people are the people of the Lord. That's what, and that they look like this man on the screen. That's why it's called Judeo-Christianity. And the truth be said, both the people in the land of Israel and the people who are claiming to be Jewish today, and this gentleman, all right, are more than likely, well, this guy personally, this dude doesn't come off to me with the spirit of Jacob at all. There's no chance that he could be, a scattered Israelite that be like unto the speckled bird. That's no. But nevertheless, Edomite Christians and Jewish people are all Edomites. Okay? And so this ring and this ideology behind it is their own doctrines, which is the Bible speaks against. This is Mark 7, verse 7 and 8, and it reads, Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandments of God, ye hold traditions of men as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. So these Christians, these Judeo-Christians, commit wicked, heinous acts against the Lord, Antichrist type acts every day. And the wedding ring is yet just another one of them. All right, because the Bible tells you in Genesis, I believe it's 24 and 67. As a matter of fact, let's just read it. Exactly how you marry a woman. And you're supposed to stay married to that woman. You know? Had I understood that, as a young man, I would have 3 wives. It's not time for that yet, though. You know, but nevertheless, I know that as a young teenage male, that I had three women that had never been with another man. This is Genesis 24 and 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, meaning he had sex with Rebekah, because Rebekah had never been touched by a man before. All right? Penetrated. And she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. All right? So, the way you become someone's wife is when he sexually arouses and then penetrates you. Well, this penetration part. You know, when you are penetrated by a man for the first time, that man, in the eyes of the Most High God, Yahweh, is now your husband. Right? The moment you let another man penetrate you, you have now become an adulterer, an adulteress, and if the man did it willingly, knowing that you have been with someone else, he is now an adulterer. That's why the Lord calls us a sinful nation. That we were born in sin, because why? We've been transgressing his laws. You know, our men are constantly with women that have had more husbands than they can count. You know, they've got children already, stepfathers and stepmothers, and we're just a mess. We're a mess as a people. And we need Yahweh Shai to come and wipe us clean and give us these new bodies so we can start again. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai Bashem Rakak Wadash Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.